Good evening, everyone. I'm Michael Landman. I'm head of the Graduate Performance Program for the Department of Theater, and thank you for joining us tonight for this third act of the Laramie Project. The past two nights, we've been having post-show conversations with the designers and director on Wednesday, and then the director and the cast, Thursday, and then last night the cast joined us, and tonight everyone's going to come on in from the creative team to visit. And if it's technically possible, I'm asking my stage manager and technical director to take any audience questions. We would love that. This time I'd like to invite the designers and any casts who are ready to join me on the screen. And we are going to have a little chat. Hello, everybody, and congratulations on your audience. If you missed any of the last two nights, there'll be full performances of the Laramie Project Friday, October 9th at 7:30 p.m. and Sunday, October 11 at 2 p.m. And we won't be having post-show conversations then because all three acts will be presented and the play is a little bit longer, which is why we only are doing one act this week so we could visit. Thank you all for joining me. I think just in case anyone wasn't with us last two nights, could the director and then the designers introduce themselves, please? So let's start with the director. You're on mute. There you go.
Oh, sorry. Hi, everyone. Sorry. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Juan, second year MFA director, and I am directing the Laramie Project.
Thank you, Juan. And we'll move to the designers.
Hi, I'm Callie Lithgow. I'm a first year MFA candidate, and I designed the costumes for this production.
Hi everyone, my name is Ethan Rivera. I am a first year MFA candidate and I was the scenic consultant for the show.
Hey everybody, I'm Zach Junkins and I was the lighting consultant for the show. I'm a first year MFA lighting design candidate.
And is our sound designer here tonight? Yes, he is.
Yes, I'm Jackson. I'm the sound designer for the show and I'm an undergraduate design major.
And thank you guys for your work. Hey, cast, would it be possible to, I see a few of you have put your real names on your Zoom screen. That would be lovely so that we could know who you are. And since we haven't rehearsed who might introduce themselves first, I'm going to just go across my screen and let you say hello. Riles or Riley, would you mind waving hello so we know who you are?
Hi, I'm Riles. I don't have the power to put my name in. I'll just wait for it to show up one day. But hi, I'm Riles. I'm a graduate actor.
And Grace. We can't hear you, Grace.
Hey, I'm Grace Taylor. I'm also a graduate actor.
And Anna?
Hello, my name is Anna and I'm also a graduate actor.
Taylor.
Hi, I'm Taylor and I'm an undergrad actor.
Yay. Kaylee.
Hi, I'm Kaylee and I am also an undergrad actor.
Edwin.
I don't know why I got nervous. Hello, I'm Edwin. I am a grad actor. I'm in Houston right now. What up?
It's so funny you got nervous after the show. Tristan.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tristan. I'm a senior undergraduate.
Leah.
Hello, my name is Leah Smith, and I am a second year MFA actor.
Gabe.
Hi, I'm Gabe. I'm a second year MFA. What up?
Tanner.
Hi, I'm Tanner. I'm an undergraduate actor.
Jordan.
Hello, I'm Jordan. I'm also I'm a graduate actor. Yeah.
So thank you guys for all being here tonight. I do want to acknowledge there's a couple of people not on camera. One of them is your stage manager, whose name is Joshua Harpel, and he's running things back there. That includes sound and communicating with you guys, and is a big part of what this Zoom event is. And then we have a couple of staff members of the theater department, Tyler and Ash, and they're also helping to make this magic happen. Yay, we'll give them our own round of applause to those guys. Wanted to ask you guys a couple of questions tonight. And again, we'd love to open up to the audience if you have any questions of the company. We touched upon briefly 2 nights ago that working with the designers was a little bit different in this production because we are working together in new ways, and the actors are crewing their own private homes. Actor or two, talk to us about what's different in this kind of production. I'll let a designer volunteer first. Or I'll call on one. Hey, Callie.
I can talk about it. I mean, it's definitely different because I can't create anything from scratch and the pool of stuff is very limited, but it also is very exciting because it became a lot more of a collaborative. So what do you think about this character? What would they wear? Let's exchange ideas about it rather than just me telling you what to wear. And I think it really colored everybody's perceptions of the characters and made it hopefully fun and interesting for the actors to do that costume design process a little bit for themselves.
Could we maybe look at a specific example or two that someone in the cast might be able to also share? Go for it, Kaylee.
So I have in Act 3, I am Trish, and then I'm the judge, and I have 5 seconds and a prayer to get onto my next costume. And so that was a lot of collaboration on like, okay, what do you think? Do you think I should hurry up and like put another jacket on? Do you think I should what do you think I should do? Do you think I should wear a blazer? That's too much. I can't wear a blazer. My mic gets caught onto it. And so really like having like that trial and error of that whole process was a thing. It was a whole thing.
Maybe another actor might want to share about a costume choice that became a collaboration.
Sure. I have a similar problem to Kaylee in that I have a handful of characters that need pretty rapid shift. So this is my base little generic white V-necky t-shirt that is a little piece of nearly all my costumes that I have to switch between like little jackets or little vests. This is my own cardigan. And so everything is just revolving around the top, revolve the top, revolve the top. Yeah.
I certainly don't envy all of the actors who I'm sure they all look very nice right now with their angles Ethan's given them, but I'm sure if we were to see the floors of their rooms, they're just covered in costume pieces that they have to throw on and throw off so quickly. I wish I could give them all a wardrobe crew. Which
is what we usually have when we do a production. We have people who help the actors get in and out of costume, but here it's all you. You mentioned Ethan. Why don't we switch to how you worked with the cast, Ethan?
So like Callie, it was a lot of collaboration. I loved working with each of them because it just started with a conversation. And it was really easy because I think that each of you have a wonderful idea of who these people are. Because I think one thing that like we talk about is like, these are real people. And so it was really nice. Like I remember working with Leah, and Leah has such a big room and it's very decorative. So I was like, okay, Leah, we are going to figure out all of these different places. And I was like, and I like wrote down all of the characters that Leah plays. And we just talked about, I was like, okay, so when you're Rebecca in the first time that we see you, that should say something about her, and then she has this bookshelf, and I was like, okay, that feels education, that feels academic, right? And then if she just moves her camera the other way a little bit, you get Reggie Flutie, and you get all of these different other spaces, and it's such a cool idea for a design. Thank you, Leah, so much. It's such a cool idea for a design, because what I was connecting with you, Callie, about is that they're like, you're taking these real people, because all you actors are real people. You're taking all of these real people and then making their wardrobe making the wardrobes of the characters out of their own wardrobe. And it's kind of nice. It makes it feel more human. And I really liked that about this production. The collaboration and the whole show in itself just felt really human.
Thank you. So I know that Zach was also, you described yourself, Zach, as a lighting consultant. What did that mean? And
Well, so I say it like that because most of, or really all of the actors already had some form of lighting set up because they've been doing rehearsal by the time I got to speak with each of them. And so what I did was really just help them adjust their setups. Maybe a couple of them added some extra fixtures just to help make the light a little more even across their faces. But for the most part, they already had most of it done by the time I got there. But it was interesting having to use, what was available and on hand to each actor instead of, normally we would provide all of the fixtures that provide all the lighting for the show. And so it was definitely interesting. It was unlike anything I've ever done before. And we learned pretty quick that lighting for a camera can be it can be kind of tough at times because they're pretty picky about what they like to highlight and dim down, and they're very fickle beasts.
so are the actors adjusting lighting as well as costumes and scenic locations during the course? Yes. Oh my gosh, could one or two you give us an example of, like, in real time here, what's happening off screen?
Yeah, for me, for example, in these very last two scenes of the play, I go from Doc O'Connor to Father Roger in the last two scenes. And between that, I think there's maybe 5 lines for that character switch. So I switch from a white button down to a black t-shirt and a black blazer. And then I have to switch my camera angle from somewhere here to here, which also requires the movement of this O-light that I am using for the show. So that is spinning, and then I'm also moving my microphone. And then I have to turn off my light and back on for the very end when we have all the lights off with our candle on. And so all of that happens for me in probably about 30 to 45 seconds.
And are you also controlling whether your mic and video are on and off?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
It has
That's
been
a
a wonderful experience. I have loved every second of it.
That's amazing. Wow. Would someone else like to chime in on like a transition they have to make? This is new to me and fun.
I mean, yeah, that last one I have right before everybody comes on with the candles, I sit here, but luckily I have this remote that controls my lights. So I can just sit here and just be like, boom, boom. So it's pretty chill. So for me, the lighting transitions weren't too much. For me, it's really the costume ones that always messed me up. I was like, is this the right shirt? Is this the right headband? Is this the right pair of glasses? But yeah, like Tristan said, it's a lot to juggle, but I really have enjoyed all of it at once. It's a blast.
I know for me, I fortunately have a desk in the room that I'm sitting at, but I found that you have to be very cognizant of of where the camera is in order to utilize the framing. So sometimes if I wanted to be able to use, say, like this plant up here for the minister's wife is the scene that I use for that. Like, to be able to access the upper half of my room, I need to elevate my laptop. So, and to be able to sit on in other portions of the room, I've found that I now have a stool on one side that I've moved around. I will put the stool up on the desk at certain points. I have a stack of books that I've also used and like have that mounted where my lamp is mounted, kind of in a central location. And fortunately, it's a like bendy neck lamp, so it acts like a spotlight, and I can kind of move it around in different locations. But yeah, so stack of books, lamp, mobile lamp, a stool, and a rolly chair are all the tools that I found that works.
Yeah, I have characters that I play multiple times throughout the show. So something else that's really important is consistency in the camera frame. And I've found that it's really useful to, there's like a little video preview setting you can use before you come on, so you can just like check yourself. But I use it to make sure that I'm in frame, because you can see my little Marge land over here. I'll like check, make sure that the fox is like halfway in, and on this side that it's showing the same amount of books as before, because very likely some of these interviews happen at the same time, and it's just different segments cut out from the same interview.
I'm shocked at how much you guys are handling back there. I had no idea. You did it all seamlessly, ladies and gentlemen. Well done. I'm wondering if Jackson or Juan or any of the other actors want to add anything to this part of the conversation.
Well, Juan got us right in shape there. He didn't hesitate to let us know, you're still on camera. Turn your camera off, or your microphone's on. I mean, how many times can you leave a microphone on? Eventually you're gonna remember that. But there are a lot of things. And when you were talking about your desk, Leah, I just feel like this desk is like the theater space, and it's like, I look at it and I'm just like, because I can kind of be on either side of mine, and the chair has to be on the right side, and so it's just, and I don't have anything on my walls either. Like Leah, you have I just have like this corner, there's a couple corners, I think like 4, and then he said people were grabbing things, so I grabbed this like mail holder thing, and so sometimes I move it, I slide it, and then my printer goes on top of that, and so it's kind of like a game of Tetris over here. But it's a lot of fun. That's a strong word. Memorable. I will never forget this experience. Having to do all of them and still say the line the way you want to say it. So it was great though.
Thank you.
Yeah, in terms of working with actors about that's memorable for me too. Like, this is a first production in which beside working with actors in just characters and plotting, now we have to work with actors about tech. And I think that it's also it somehow go along with the play, in which I found it a little bit Brechtian. Brechtian is a style that Morris Kaufman affected by. So it's like it makes the actor to immediately step out of the wrong, to watch over all of a thing, and then jump into the wrong immediately in the new wrong, and then after that step out again. So yeah, the actors and the characters always have a distance, and somehow the tech involved in that to help the characters, to help the actors to Brechtian's acting. I don't know, yeah, but it makes sense. Yeah.
That's actually a terrific segue to another question I have. So the technique you're describing, which some of you studied with me last year, Brechtian theater, one of his goals as a theater artist, as a playwright, was to effect change in the world, to address societal wrongs. And I'm wondering if any of you would be willing to talk about how this play affected you, and if there's one thing that you could change in an audience member's perception of the world or make sure it is imprinted, what would that one thing be? If you had the chance to give your Brechtian message now.
I'll go first. I'm part of the season selection committee at the university, so I chose this play after I experienced a couple of like hate comments towards me. Wearing certain attire out in public, I was being called derogatory terms, such as the F word that is used a few times in this play. And I was like, holy crap, this town needs to hear this play. This town needs to hear this play. And so I guess if I could have a message, if I could have some kind of like something to leave the audience with, it would be to, you know, everybody's different. Everybody comes from different backgrounds. Everybody has different stories, but to treat each other with love, not with hate, to embrace those differences, because that's what makes you unique. So be yourself and love those around you, even those who are different. And that's with sexual orientation, that's with race, that's with gender, that's with everything. If I could leave anything with you, that's that. I hope we were able to do that. I hope we were able to inspire that in you. Yeah, that's my thing, really, honestly. Snap.
Thank you.
I think for me, and especially how this play times out, you know, the play is called Laramie, duh, but it feels like you can be really distracted by Matthew and Aaron McKinney and Russell. It can feel like it can become about that when really it's not. The play is about the town of Laramie during this incident and after this incident. And I really like Jedediah's journey in this play, because he goes from being in the thick of it and not knowing really anything about either side, and cameras shoved in his face, people asking him questions, he's got to make these calls. And a lot of the people in this play are in the mess of the incident and become really hyperbolic and become really divisive, and it complicates an issue. It complicates the idea that a man was murdered, and it becomes like crazy and all these other things. And the thing that I take away from this play and how it plays now is, with where we are at the world and the state of the country at the moment, it feels very divisive, and we're in the thick of it, and we have to have opinions on everything. But when Jedediah was given space and time, in the end, he's like, I don't know why I said any of it. Like, why I thought you were different than anything. And this play kind of follows that journey for Jedediah, at least. And I think, yeah, just give yourself time and space and find the empathetic approach to the issue. So it's not so complicated and divisive.
Thank you.
Yeah, very much along those lines. What I was going to say is there are so many different perspectives in this play. There are 66 different perspectives in the show, and a lot of the characters, a lot of these real people perceive their opinions as facts. And I think, I hope that this play encourages people to think a little more critically about the truth and what that is and what that means, what is right and what is wrong, and question the things that they hear.
Thank you.
I think there's a lot in this play of people who try to observe the action from the outside and feel like it's happening to some other group and it's very separate, and they try to separate themselves from what's happening and from the people who are involved in it. I think Zubaida has a line that says, like, this is not we can't say that we're not a town that's like this, because obviously we are. And people just trying to say, oh, it's terrible, but it has nothing to do with me. And I think there are a few people in this show who, over the course of it, learn that you can't think like that and expect things to get better or change. And there are people who learned that their participation and their feelings contribute to this greater community of feelings. And so I hope that people seeing this play can look at issues that maybe don't affect them directly because of their own personal identity, and have empathy towards people that it does affect, and realize that you're not, if we're all part of the same community, and there's no issue that is a part of you.
Thank you, Kelly.
One specific thing is when I hear Roland Stacy, played by Ryle, playing the part that he said, "Go home and hug your kids," and he thinks that
When I'm having trouble hearing you, can you get closer to your mic?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
A little better.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I want to share about when I hear the character Roland Stacy, played by Ryle, the part that he said, "Go home and hug your kids." I do think that one thing that I really want the audience to bring home with is that hug their kids, hug their families, hug their lovers. I mean, we don't know anything happens tomorrow. And share the love, share the tolerance, compassion. And the second thing is, this play is a lot about how you give a judgment, how you, so if anything, that after this play you go out and before you give a judgment about somebody, just stop a second and think. Whatever you think, just think. And when you give a judgment, if you're unsure, please add in a maybe in your judgment, because you cannot sure anything about everybody. So because that judgment was so dangerous, and it can become a hate crime. So yeah, I think that's what that personally I learned from this play a lot.
Thank you, Juan. I'd like to just point out to you all and the audience, there are 4 states in the country that do not have hate crime laws. And 2 of those states are Arkansas and Wyoming, where this play takes place. The other 2 are Georgia and South Carolina. So this is an important play for us to be doing here, and maybe we can begin to affect that kind of change in the legislature, where hate crimes, protecting victims and having punishment for those who commit them are in the books. So any of you watching who have the ability to make that kind of shift or help us, please, we need to do that here in Arkansas. So one last chance if anyone would like to share anything.
Just that I think it's worth noting we're coming up on the anniversary of the events that this happening. Matthew Shepard was attacked on October 6th, which is in 3 days. So I personally plan on spending some time on that day thinking about it and letting the events of this play affect me again. And I hope that more people will do that as well.
Thank you.
Oh, sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that I just really hope that this play fills people's hearts, and just really just have compassion, be compassionate. about everyone. Everyone needs compassion, you know? We all are feeling some type of way. We're all going through something in our own way, whether it's mentally, whether it's physically, whether it's socially. We're all going through stuff. Have compassion.
And don't hate. Just don't hate. Like, this play is so much about, well, we're all talking so much about love. Take away love from this play and love, because the play to me is so much about hate, and it's so much about like what that will drive people to do and where that comes from. And it's oddity. Like, it's odd to hate, you know, to hate is just, it's just an odd thing, you know. And so along with be compassionate and have compassion, I would just like to say, don't hate. Just don't hate.
Thank you. Gabe.
I totally agree with everyone, and I think everyone's like super great, and these answers are amazing. And I think one of the early conversations we had in the play was, and it was a conversation that really affected me and really changed the meaning of this play for me, was that it could happen to anybody. Like, it is an LGBT story. I like, and that I'm not trying to take that away from it, but you change the LGBT and you insert a race, you insert a religion, you insert a nationality, you insert whatever you want there, and it could happen to anybody. And that's what makes this such a universal story. And that's one of the reasons why I thought this play was so important, so important.
I think also, even though it takes place in Laramie, it could be any town in the United States. It's just, that's where it happened to happen this time. Yeah. Hey, thank you all so much for your generosity after the performance, for your artistry during and before. Really appreciate you all. And I thank you, audience, for staying with us to visit. Again, there are 2 more full performances of the Laramie Project next Friday, the 9th at 7:30, and Sunday, October 11th at 2 p.m. You get to see all 3 acts at once. Everyone, again, thank you and have a great night. Appreciate you.
Ooh.